What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz,
Boy, Natty Baps.
and we the BaptisteBros.
Look at that. Hold on.
Whoa, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going?
It took 12 weeks. It took 12 weeks, but here we are.
We're looking like a pumpkin today, but it's all right.
We're looking like a pumpkin, a sexy pumpkin. Word. That's my that's what I'm telling them. Anyway, week 12. Happy Thanksgiving week. I hope you guys had a relaxing, good food. It was some football, some good, some bad. Here we're gonna discuss all the games. Every team was on action. No teams had a bye. Except now, Nick, we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. 8:30. Be there. Buy Mageddon. Six teams with valuable playoff positioning in fantasy. 6 teams on bye. We're gonna talk about all the implications of that going forward tomorrow. But we gotta recap week 12, the week that was. Again, like I had mentioned, some football was played. Good, bad, ugly, fantastic. And then whatever tickles your fancy. Here at BaptisteBros, we're gonna cover it all. But before we do, what do they gotta do, Shabazz? What do they gotta do, son?
For me, first we gotta stop the bullshit. You gotta drop a like. Then you gotta subscribe if you're new, though. If you're watching on Twitch, welcome. Follow on Twitch, BaptisteBros. Then you gotta go to YouTube and subscribe to BaptisteBros on YouTube as well. Then you gotta tell a friend to do the same, But then you gotta tell that friend to then tell their friend to do all that. Follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube. And without further ado, let's get right.
Okay. Hold on. All right. Thanksgiving Day. All right. So we start off Thanksgiving Day. There was 3 games. Lions lose another Thanksgiving Day game, man. How many years has it been since they've won a game? It's insane. I genuinely don't know how many years it's been since they won on Thanksgiving. Lions suck, bro. Well, more accurately, Jared Goff disappointed again. Fraudulent. And as I got it, there's a lot of vindication this week. There's a lot of vindication. So
vindication.
A lot of vindication this week, man. Lions, Jared Goff, and that's the same thing happened. They play the Ravens. They're 5-1, 5-1. They're riding high. They're like, hey, we're actually a competitor. And they're like, cool. Show us what you can do. And what happened? Boom. Got punched in the mouth. And you're like, okay, maybe that was the Ravens, who are now 1 seed in the AFC. Maybe that's they just built different. That it's fine. It's fine. Then all of a sudden, hold on, what else? They also lost. Oh, they only lost to Seattle, lost to the Packers, lost to the Ravens. And then this game right here. Jordan Love, I gotta give him credit. I gotta give him some love. He has turned the corner. He's turned an absolute corner. He's been fantastic. He's been fantastic recently. He has not turned the ball over. I thought you was dealing with something. That's why.
No, we're good.
Yeah, Jordan Love has turned the corner. Now I'm not saying he's the next Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying he's the next Brett Favre, or the Packers aren't going to draft the quarterback, because they definitely are going to draft the quarterback. But he's putting them in a position to win some games. I think the Packers have won like 3 straight, which is like, damn. Yeah, they beat the Chargers. Oh no, they lost to the Steelers, but they won 3 of the last 4 games. Right? They beat the Rams without Matthew Stafford. They lost to the Steelers because Steelers voodoo magic. Then they beat the Chargers, and then they beat the Lions. Like, I'm not saying they're gonna make a playoffs. I'm not saying they're in position to make the playoffs, but 5-6, crazier things have happened.
Yep.
And I'm proud of the Packers for the way they fought, the way they came back. But the Lions, Goffle's back. The nickname is back. Like he has been bad. Like, he's turned the ball over, constantly fumbling the ball. He has, again, Nick Wright calls him small hands. Like, he's been making fun of his hands, but it's accurate. Goff, as soon as his expectations pressed upon him, hey, you should beat this team. it's kind of like I was going to talk about the Texans later on and how they kind of showed up but didn't until the second half. But hey, you finally have a chance to assert yourself as you're in a prime position because we didn't. Bills Eagles is a competitive matchup. Anything could have happened. You win this game against the Packers, you're 9-2, and you have an easy ass schedule. Yeah, you play the Saints and you play the Cowboys. But other than that, you don't not have a hard schedule. But no, you lose these games. They're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna win the NFC North. But can you trust Detroit to get the job done? Shabazz has been on the train of calling them fraudulent. Who have they beaten? Yes, they beat Kansas City week 1. They played again. I'm picking the Chiefs. I that's simple, right? They play the Saints this week. You know who I'm rocking with. Team behind me, even though we got our own problems to freaking work through. Point is, Dan Campbell, and he also owned up to this too. They called the fake punt, and it was like 4th and 7 from their own 30-yard line. Called the fake punt. He owned up to bad decision, bad thing, bad take. Right? That's good coaching. However, you get praise when it works out, but when it doesn't work, a lot of coaches shy away from the press. He owned up to that, so I gotta give him that. But they go to the Saints next week. They got 2 bad offensive performances in a row. They barely squeaked. It's Chicago that they beat last week. Then their mishaps. We're gonna talk about the Bears later on, and they got exposed to the Packers. When teams have a good pass rush, you can disturb Jared Goff. That's the story of his career. And so far, without Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery going crazy, how has he looked? Pretty average. Lions are going to make the playoffs. They're going to be one and done. You heard it here first because they're fraudulent.
And plus, if they're the 2 seed, it's either going to be San Fran or Philly going to y'all crib. In round 2. Right. Not round 1, but round 2. So, you'll win the first game, get some hype, and then you play the big dog and you're going to get it cooked, right? But I'm not going to say they win the division yet. It's still they split with the Packers. They gotta play the Vikings again. So it's still I don't think they have played against. They still have to play other teams in that division. And this was a big loss, and this was a big win for the Packers. You mentioned all the good stuff, right? I'm not even going. But if you're the Packers, we can sneak up on them. If they can go to they're home if they can beat Kansas City at home, highly unlikely. But I'm personally rooting for it because I need it to happen. But if they can beat Kansas City, and let's say I'm calling the upset too. Saints at home beat the Lions. Oh shit. We're 2 games out. It's close. If you're the Lions, you're we needed this because a shaky offensive performance followed by another shaky offensive performance. People were saying this is why people can't give you in terms of MVPs, it's not a week-to-week award. It's a whole season. Now, he'll have a bunch of yards and a bunch of stats, but if you look at the Lions, you don't win because of Jared Goff. He's made key throws and hasn't made the mistakes, but this was in the first half of the season when the Lions' defense was holding it down. But as the season wanes on, you get some tape and get some film, that Lions defense is not as good as you expected it to be. Plus, I know CJ Gardner-Johnson, he's out. So that's a big loss in the secondary. So if it's the same thing with Philly, we'll talk about them later. They're the same problem. Versus Philly can get a pass rush, bro. They can stop the run a little bit. They can get got in the secondary. They cannot, Aiden Hutchinson is their only pass rusher. So if you double him, isolate him out, there's no one else that can beat you. So you could just carve them up on the ground or in the air like the Packers did on Thanksgiving. And they're going to go to a hungry New Orleans team who needs a win. I think it's going to be tough sledding for the Lions in the next couple of games, man, because it's tough. It's real tough. But also another game that we both accurately called. He was like, "It's either gonna be a blowout, but Sam Howell's not gonna beat the Cowboys." And look at that. And I watched majority of the game. I was so pissed off multiple times at the Commanders because they were holding it down defensively, causing 3-and-outs, getting the ball back. Sam Howell threw for 300 yards. Okay, he leads the league in passing, but it's like he mentioned, another vindication doesn't mean shit if you can't win the games. CJ Stroud I think he's now leading the league in passing or second still, but he's winning games. There was no, like, bro, you're paying the Cowboys. You were giving time after time. You were marching down the field repeatedly, but you missing routine throws. He threw an out route to not McLaurin, but Jahan Dotson. He underthrew it, but it was like batted away. I'm like, bro, you cannot play that kind of. You gotta throw with like conviction if you want to beat the Cowboys. Because he didn't try it again, but if he had tried it again, that would have been picked off to the crib. And later on, he tried it on the other side. Not a lot of energy, not a lot of power. It got picked off by Darron Bland to the crib. NFL record. Shout out to him. Congratulations. They had 2 instances of 4th and inches where play calling was not the right play. First, you try to sneak it with freaking Sam Howell. That was dumb. Then the second time, you bobble the snap with Ryan Robinson and you try to do whoever I blame that on Eric Bieniemy a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Because you could have done a fake, you could have passed it, you could have done something because you could call up the secondary of the Cowboys. You can, but you have to attack them. You can't be scared of them. You can't be scared. Now the Cowboys, they beat another trash team. Congratulations. That easy part of the schedule is now gone. Now, even with Seattle, who I think is trash, but people are high on Seattle, this is where your season starts. After Thanksgiving, this is where your season starts. For real. Because you got Philly, you got Detroit, who I think are fraud, but whatever. And you have a real shot at leading the division if, like we'll talk about it tomorrow, if Philly loses to San Francisco. Because you could beat them, and they lose San Francisco, they lose 2 straight, you win 2 straight, they got the same record.
Yeah.
So it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. But good job by the Cowboys, I guess. You win another game against a trash team. But if you had lost it, we would be on your lap.
Right. That's the thing, too. It's like, oh, they win. We're not impressed. But if they lose, we going to call them out and we're going to call them trash. Again, Dallas, they handled the business. They did what good teams do and beat these bad teams. But for, the first, quarter and a half, the Commanders were moving the ball. They just couldn't score. And they kept just getting a big sack by Micah Parsons or a big breakup by Stephon Gilmore versus Terry McLaurin. And that's the kind of thing that wins you games, like having defensive playmakers. Oh, my God, I wonder what happened if they had Chase Young. Oh, I wonder what would have happened if they had Montez Sweat, who had a big game on Monday night. That's the kind of thing the Commanders are selling. The Commanders are tanking. They're just not vocal about it. Cowboys win. Cool. Then next 5 games are against all teams above 500. Seattle, Eagles, Bills. Well, Bills are 6-6, so that's not necessarily, but it's Bills fighting for their playoff lives. Then you got Dolphins, and then you got the Lions, and then you finish off with the Commanders. So 5 of the next 6 games are teams in playoff positioning or fighting for playoff positioning, fighting for their playoff lives. This is where this season starts. If that continues to put up these good numbers against Seattle, Thursday night, standalone game, against Philly, Sunday night football, standalone game, that's the kind of thing that's going to resonate with a lot of people, especially MVP voters. So that's all I really got to say on the Cowboys, man. And the title for this segment with the game, Niners Seahawks, pretty accurate. Niners make quick work of Seattle. It was close for a second because Brock Purdy threw a pick 6, and it's like, oh, maybe they might fuck around and come back. But then, no, Seattle, they failed on the pressure, And San Francisco said, time to sit up on the controller, and then they go bananas. So I got no real thoughts on the game. Geno Smith is regressing to a pumpkin right before our eyes, which is an appropriate color shirt that Shabazz is wearing. Geno Smith, man, like it's like way worse than Dallas because it's like, oh, you. And I think the biggest takeaway from this game and the biggest thing that why I'm hammering Cowboys, because as much as I dislike Dallas, they don't shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah,
they might turn the ball over here and there, but penalties is that's coaching. Pete Carroll, what happened? I think they have the second most accepted penalties with Chicago. Tied just defensively speaking.
Anything with Chicago is crazy.
Tying the Bears had so many penalties on defense last night, it was insane. But I think it's like the accepted defensive penalties, it's tied with Chicago on defense. That's something you don't. When you say that, you don't want to be a part of that. That's not something you want to do, or want to be a part. So, like, I wish I can look up the actual number, but Seattle's been penalized a lot. Now they have Jamal Adams. They have Devin Witherspoon, who's been balling. Tariq Woolen. Took Woolen.
He got benched, actually.
Yeah, he got benched. Crazy. They have Julian Love, Domer, Dexter, Leonard Williams, former Giant. Yeah, they have playmakers, but it's similar to the Chargers. The holes on some of its parts. They bend a lot, and then if they break, penalty. Seattle's got to get that fixed because they're going to get destroyed on Thursday. They're going to get destroyed on Thursday if somehow, some way, they keep shooting themselves in the foot.
Word. And the Cowboys don't lose at home. They rarely lose at home. They got the AT&T. I think they're undefeated at home. They lost
Arizona on the road. They lost to
San Fran
on the road, and they lost to Philly on the road. Yeah, they're undefeated at home.
Bro, that's crazy. They get the ultimate battery in their back, especially in a primetime game at home. Nah, bro, that's tough. That's tough. What's the spread on that? How many had?
7.
God damn. A touchdown? I don't know.
57.5. But yeah, I might lay those points. But Niners, man, they did again. I mentioned it last week. They did lose Hufanga for the year with ACL. So slowly, as long as you stay healthy, the Niners have a chance to beat anybody. Yep. But key players start to get hurt and start aging a little bit. Like Trent Williams hasn't been as dominant as he normally is. He's getting beat sometimes. So just gonna throw that out there. Sometimes age catches up with you if you at least expect it.
Last point, 49ers, they gotta try to come out of Philly more healthy. Because in a couple weeks after that, Ravens play the Niners Christmas Day.
Ooh, I'm gonna be home for that.
Bro, it's a vibe, bro. It's gonna be a good time, and I want that to be like a Super Bowl preview type shit because I want that. Oh, I'm so mad. When we get to my Ravens, I'm talking my shit. Fuck out of here. But continue. Sorry.
No, that's really it. And then Black Friday, first Friday game ever in NFL history. Tua struggles, but Dolphins still beat hopeless Jets. Bro, we knew what was gonna happen. There's not much analysis to the show. I will say this though, Tua turned the ball over, was in our lock-in list. He ain't watched the show. Apparently because he keeps turning the ball over. He gonna fuck around and find out. He's gonna fuck around and find out again, just like Dallas haven't beaten anybody above 500. And I told that to Corbett's. I was watching the game with Corbett last night, and his dad. I was like, "Yeah, Dolphins haven't beaten anybody above 500." He's like, "What? No, that can't be." And I'm like, "Bro, there are 3 losses. Bills on the road got smoked. Philly on the road got smoked, and in Kansas City in Germany didn't get smoked, but it was whatever. Kansas City was going through their ebbs and flows. They're 3 losses.
Broncos, now they're gonna say, "Oh, but Broncos got a winning record now, so now the Dolphins are good." No.
Oh yeah, they're Broncos have a winning record now, so I guess. But at the time they beat them, no, they did not have a winning record. So I guess, fine, sure, they have a winning record now. But no, at home, the juggernauts, cool. All the easy games have been at home, literally all of them, and the tough games that they have been on the road, in which they got destroyed. Because Tua, I don't know if it's small stature, cold weather, who knows, but Dolphins got to lock in. Yes, they beat the Jets. It's the Jets. They knew it was going to happen. They played the Commanders. Like the next couple of games, bro, it goes Commanders, Titans at home, Jets at home again, the day after our birthday. And then their last 3 games, Dallas, Christmas Eve, Ravens, New Year's Eve, and then the Bills. So they got to make sure they keep winning and stack the dubs when they can, because the last 3 games of the schedule, right before the playoffs, is going to be tough. So they handled business. The Jets, as you texted the group chat, the Jets suck, man. As you texted the group chat, you said, "Damn, Moosey, I hate to tell you, hate to say it, but the Jets suck." I think that's like the most accurate statement anyone has ever said in that chat.
And then Moosey attacked me like we're one Lamar injury for being the same. I'm like, that's not wrong. He's not wrong, but we won games with Huntley last year. I'm just saying. We made it to the playoffs. So I'm just saying. Just throwing that out there. I was saying. But I don't know. Jets, man, it's tough. It's tough. You feel bad for the defense because we're usually bro. You get a pick 6. And then you're like, I bet. And then you get a stop. So you get the ball back, like, okay, let's try something. Like, fuck it. It's halftime. Hail Mary. That's what they're calling it now. The Hail Mary. Buff fumble is gone. It's now the Hail Mary. That's like
the Buff fumble is never gone. It's gone, but never forgotten.
It's just like, damn, bro. You don't get a stop. But for the Dolphins, they are going to start struggling on the pass rushing front because Jalen Phillips saw his Achilles. So I think
they just signed JPP off the Saints practice squad. So it's a body.
It's a body. Saint Giant great. Shout out to Matt. I don't know though. For me, it's just hard. It's hard. Then we all right.
Nothing real. All right. So
I'm gonna say a real quick comment. You know what I'm saying? I felt bad. I ain't gonna lie. I was looking at it. I was at a brunch, so I didn't watch a lot of these games. Wow,
shout out to Sherelle.
Sorry, sir. 27. Shout out to her. Love you. You know what I'm saying? But it was bad, bro. That was just like, damn. I was like, we was up, but then I was like, I was checking on the score. I was like, all right, another field goal. I'm like, all right, Micah. Like, goddamn, son. Where? But I'm gone.
So as Shabazz leaves, right? I'm gonna give myself a solo shot. This dude calls me while he's at brunch. Actually, bring your ass here. You don't need to talk. Don't need to talk. Just listen, because the audience needs to see your face when I say this shit. This dude FaceTimes me while he's at brunch, lit off his ass, having some good eats. He's like, okay. And he's like, my sister's there. I'm like, hey, what's good? Yeah, what's good? Falcons are running the ball down our fucking throats. And he's calling me. And I'm like, bro, what do you want from me right now? He's like, yo, Saints need to log in. Saints not doing so well. I'm like, I fucking know. And he's like, yo, you're not really matching my vibe right now. I'm like, if I called you and you losing to the Steelers like this, you want me to talk? Oh, you ruining my vibe. No, exactly. Shut the fuck up. Now let me talk my shit, all right? So,
paying me in a bad light.
Shut up. You are. I am paying you in a bad light. You're absolutely right. I'm over. I'm upset we lost to the Falcons, firstly, because Falcons just they suck. Desmond Shitter. He made a good throw to Bijan Robinson. It's crazy how we've been talking for weeks. Hey, get Bijan the ball, and then all of a sudden they give him the ball, and then he starts to perform well. Oh my God, it's almost like foreign concept, kind of like give the best players the ball instead of using them as decoys for let me look here. Matt Collins, but whatever. And Jonah Smith. Okay. I say this every week as it's commandments, bro. I think I'm not gonna get it tatted. I might just like make a list of commandments and just have it on the screen and every time I talk about the Saints, bro. I might do that for tomorrow's show. I say the same things every single week. I feel like I want my students. Don't turn the ball over, especially in the freaking red zone. When you have two at the 10-yard line. It's first and goal. And then boom, pick 6, Derek Carr. Throw a pick, bad coverage. He's literally staring down the defender. AJ Terrell, we've been saying for months now, for years, underrated as hell. Hey, he's going to be an all-pro potentially this year. Why? Because the Falcons' defense, at least secondary, is pretty okay. He's great. Everybody else, not so much. AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates made plays. He's a free agent signing of the year for Atlanta because he picked it off. Boom, pick 6 to the crib. Then, cool. Every time he was moving the ball down the field, I'm like, cool. Chris Olave got involved. Rashid Shaheed got involved. Kamara is moving the ball, doing his shit, right? I'm like, cool. Talk to me when we get to the red zone. Why? We had 5 field goals. 5 of them, bro. All 5 were long drives that started at the 10 or less, or maybe 20, 25. We drove the ball down the field, and then as soon as the field gets tight, Derek Carr forgets how to be a quarterback. Staring down receivers. Pick 6. Boom. Taysom Hill running the ball effectively. But guess what? Jesse Bates sighting again. Boom. Pumps the ball out of his hands. Then Atlanta's already up 6 points. They want to run the ball. They don't want to have Desmond Ridder throw the ball at all. So they're in a position where we give them the perfect formula of what they want to do. They want to run the ball. Cool. They run, I think, 7 plays for 90-something yards, and it took 7 minutes. They have a great offensive line. Give credit to Atlanta. They took care of business, and they won the game. But turnovers killed us. Field goals, not touchdowns, killed us. Derek Carr, piss poor performance. He threw for 300 yards. He threw so many hospital balls. Rashid Shaheed hurt his quad. Chris Olave is in concussion protocol. Kamara, I'm surprised Kamara didn't get hurt. Knock on wood. Fantastic. Grateful he didn't get hurt. Michael Thomas is on IR. Our entire defense is old and falling apart. And why? Because somehow, someway, Dennis Allen continues to be a coach. Panthers, we're going to talk about them soon. Fired their head coach. Steelers finally have 400 yards of offense. Why? They fired their offensive coordinator. Bills fired their offensive coordinator, and guess what? Put up 34 points on the defending NFC champion Eagles on the road. Why? Things happen. You have to make a change. Steelers don't fire people at all. The last time they fired somebody, he walked out mid-season. It was 1940. You gotta make changes that are appropriate. Steelers are they're freaking in the AFC North divisional race. They still gotta play the Ravens again. Bills fighting for their playoff lives. Yeah, we're just gonna fire offensive coordinator, see if that helps. Yes, Panthers are 1-10. They're not going anywhere. They don't even have their first round pick, so they're in an abysmal situation. I say the same shit every week. Dennis Allen has to go. Pete Carmichael has to go. We're stuck with Derek Carr. Contractually speaking, we're stuck with him. So we might as well keep him. Cool. Get new play callers. And then people on Saints Twitter, I hate going on Saints Twitter because it's like, damn, it's like two sides. Everyone's on the same page, but how we go about the results is different. If we would have won the game, no, everyone would have been like, damn, yeah, he has to go, but it is what it is. Olave was on pace for the game of his career. I think he had 11 catches for $120 in the first half. Yeah, he was going bananas. And then guess what? Derek Carr overthrows. There was a terrible ball. Has to jump up. He gets flipped, hits on his head, concussion. It was on track for the greatest game of his career, but no. Derek Carr has a bad throw. Rashid Shaheed. Oh my God, this play. Oh, I don't even know if I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can go on Twitter and find it. Because you have to see how open Rashid Shaheed was, bro. Like, I say, man, son, Rashid Shaheed open touchdown. He took a curl route, and bro, oh my God, hold on, I can't find it. I'm gonna find it as we talk about the next game. You could see how bad Derek Carr was, bro. All in all, hey, 24-hour rule, as Cam Jordan says, we gotta lock in. We're in second place in the division. We're 5-6. We have a chance to do something we haven't done in a while. Beat a team over 500. Detroit's coming off a bad loss as well. So they're going to be hungry. They're going to be fighting. And they're going to be trying to lock in. But, man, the commandments are the commandments. I'm not talking on my ass. The commandments are the commandments. That's how you win games. Don't turn the ball over, especially in the red zone. Score touchdowns, not field goals. And don't shoot yourself in the foot. That's how you lose games, or that's how you win games. Yep. And that goes on to coaching. And Arthur Smith, as crazy as it might seem, outcoached Dennis Allen. Out-schemed Dennis Allen. And you're calling Caller's defense when you knew they want to run the ball. Oh, guess what? Bijan Robinson, athletes, players making plays. So Saints got to lock in. Again, that's why they're perpetually in the lock the fuck in. And what makes it even worse as we move on, it was off a bye. It was off a bye week. Let's move on.
So the Steelers finally have 400 yards, but only beat the Bengals 16-10. And I'm like, I wanted the Bengals to win because it's fuck Pittsburgh always. It's fuck Cincinnati. But the level of disdain I have for Pittsburgh is just, they just make my blood boil. You know what I'm saying? Joe Mixon is the only guy on that team that really makes my blood boil. The whole city of Pittsburgh makes my blood boil. And I got family in Pittsburgh. This is the ironic part. I got, my mom's a Steelers fan, my sister, my older brother, they're all Steelers fans, and we got family in Pittsburgh. So besides them, that whole city could just eat a dick. I ain't gonna lie. But they fired Matt Canada. And they finally had something to show for it offensively. This is the first time they outgained somebody. Now, we're going to take it with a grain of salt. It was Jake Browning. His first start. It wasn't Joe Burrow. It was not. But if you're them, you're like, oh, we called a dub against the division foe. And I feel like people this is a big win for them. One, because Najee ran roughshod all over them. 99 yards and a tutty. Kenny Pickett threw for almost 300, 278, I think it was. And they didn't capitalize in the red zone, and they kept settling for 3. But when your defense only allows 10, you're like, all right, we can win with this. This is good. But they have to show up. They have to show up. They have to play better because I think what's their schedule looking like? There we go. They play Cardinals, which is good. I think they're a good offense, so it's gonna be a good game. They have to be consistent. They have to be. You had 400 yards. Let's have 300 yards. Let's have another good offensive showing. Balance. Then they play the Patriots. If y'all lose to the Patriots, I'm on your ass. Then they play the Colts, the frisky Colts, feisty Colts, and then they play the Cincinnati again. Then Seattle at Seattle. And then you play Baltimore. So it's like you have 3 losable games, and you have 3 winnable games. You're in the playoffs. You're in the contention. Bengals are cooked. Bengals are done. And this is not a vindication. I do feel bad for saying this, but remember when I said they're gonna tank, trade T. Higgins away, and get Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I do remember you saying that. Yes.
They're on the trend to just lose the rest of the season because they have the hardest schedule remaining. Like they have Kansas City, they got Jacksonville, they got Cleveland again, they got Pittsburgh. Like they could legit lose every single one of their games remaining, and then just you feel me, be like a top 3-4 pick. Trade T Higgins away to someone else. Maybe get like move up in the draft, whatever, and draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and just reboot the whole shit again. And that's crazy. And I would hate that. One, as a Ravens fan, you gotta go Jamar Chase and Marvin Harrison Jr. If Marvin Harrison Jr. actually leave, because he's saying he wants to stay to beat Michigan, but you're not gonna beat Michigan because
he's leaving.
He's leaving. Why would you pass up on millions of dollars? He makes millions of dollars, but why would you pass up on more money?
I found the clip on Twitter, by the way. So I want to show you how bad Derek Carr was, bro. Okay. Rashid Shaheed is wide open. Okay.
Ooh.
See that? Bro, hold on. I paused it. Go back a little bit.
Oh, that's a lot of green grass.
He catches the ball here. Bad throw. He leads him. That's a touchdown. But no, he has to come back to the ball.
Tutty, but that's damn near like.
That's a tutty, bro. He's the fastest dude on the team.
Okay. But you don't see that safety blanket off? Like, he could definitely catch him.
That's a first down at the least. It might be at the 5. Bring in Taysom Hill afterwards. My guy, you know what happens after that play? Kick a fucking field goal.
Oh, okay.
So,
Bengals are cooked. Steelers, I got to see it again. I got to see it consistently. And for TJ Watt, you don't wish injuries, but now that Myles Garrett might be out for a while, because he's there popping his shoulder. We'll talk about that in a bit. That's easy sneaking in for the fifth player of the year for TJ Watt, the second one. So like it's there.
So I didn't mention this with the Cowboys game, but I think Deron Bland might win it, bro.
You said it. You texted me about it, and I was like, bro, because the pick six is
the pick sixes are more of an exciting play than sacks. For football purists, oh my god, like Myles Garrett is arguably the best like football player right now, regardless of position. But he got hurt. And now Cowboys are going to be in standalone games, and at every game they're going to talk. Oh, Deron Bland leads the league in pick six. He broke NFL history. The media is going to eat that alive. And he broke the pick six record on Thanksgiving Day, bro. Like he's going to continue to get interceptions, and I think he's gonna be the first cornerback to win Defensive Player of the Year since Stephon Gilmore did a couple years ago.
2019, yeah.
So I just wanted to say that because I tell him like, oh, now Deron Bland's gonna get media recognition, and it's gonna be unfortunate for the Steelers though. Really quickly, shout out to them. Shout out to Pat Fryermuth. Shout out to Najee who responded really well. He was running hard and effective. Right, Jalen Warren didn't get as many carries this week. Kind of unfortunate because I have him on my fantasy team. But regardless, I was pretty impressed. I was actually impressed. It's crazy. And the crazy ass stat for I don't know if you've seen it or not. Before the game before Matt Canada was offensive coordinator, they had 400 yards. The entire Matt Canada 53 games.
58 games, I think, yeah.
Did not go over 400 yards. The first game he gets fired, they go 400 yards.
That's football gods right there.
That's some karma football gods. Like that's some shit. That's all I really gotta say on that. A game that was exciting with the blah ending. Texans, Trevor Lawrence, they outlast CJ Stroud rather, as the Jags beat Texans 24-21. Jags were good in the first half and then escaped the second half. Also, CJ Stroud, bro, I don't know if we early or not. I said he was in the MVP conversation potentially, but man, he started off it was like tale of two halves. They couldn't get anything going offensively in the first half. And in the second half, him and Tank Dell, by the way, like that's a combo that like we're gonna see for years to come. That like, damn, like sometimes when you're friends with a guy and that's your guy, like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Like, that's the perfect example of you got two guys, they went to school together. Tank Dell and CJ Stroud didn't go to school together, but they worked together in the combine. Like, that, the throws that he made in the combine, Tank Dell was catching them. So he's like, oh, this guy is nice. Like, Tank Dell is awesome. Also, his actual name is Nathaniel, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Nathaniel Dell. But Jags win, cool. Texans fought back. And that's something I gotta give them credit for. Like, they could have laid an egg. They could have like, oh, we're not here. We're not gonna win the division anyway. It is what it is. No, they fought hard and lost. That's okay. It's how you respond going forward. Their next games, real quick.
I think so.
They play Sierra's husband. They play the Broncos, Jets, Titans, Browns without Deshaun or any real offensive firepower to speak of. Titans again and Colts. 6 games. They easily can win all 6 games. They easily could lose all 6 games. It's kind of like the Michael Irvin thing. What are you prepared to do about it? They're going to come into your house, take your things. Like, I ain't trying to get preaching mode. I'm not a Texans fan by any means. I am a CJ Stroud fan. And I hope that this loss propels something even further. And last thing, as I pass the mic back to you, Trevor Lawrence said something hilarious, and I think he's like the most honest guy when everyone he's like, hey, how do you feel about facing CJ Stroud forever? He's like, I hate it because I want my opponents to suck. He was like giving CJ Stroud credit. He's like, damn, yeah, they got a good quarterback. He's like, I hate it because I want to face my opponents when they have terrible quarterbacks. Hilarious, honest, and that's the type of shit that I like. That's like competitive, but it's like he's nice. I hate it. I hate that he's good. So, Jaguars, they take care of business. They got the Bengals on Monday night. And
they should win that.
They should. They're in contention for the 1 seed too. They need some shit to happen. But I ain't saying Jacksonville gonna go get the 1 seed, but that 1 seed race is gonna get real interesting.
It's already tight. It's already congested. It's 4 teams fighting for the same one spot.
Word. And then you also don't want to face, like, let's say the Bills get hot. Like, you don't want to be one of the, like, you don't want to be the 2 or 3 seed. You gotta face Buffalo. Like, I love playoff time. Again, I get into this shit. I get into the nitty gritties and all that stuff, bro. But man, I love playoffs. I love this time of year, bro. Every game matters. Anything can change, and I love it. I love it.
Now for this game, it was fine. It was all right. Not the firepower. I mean, both 300 yards, like okay. But you said it, like the Texans started off slow and the Jags started off hot, and then the Texans came back, and then the Jags kind of like was just coasting. It's like they weren't going like I get the Lions and Chargers game a couple weeks back. They were going shot for shot, right? Like they were going crazy. It wasn't like that. It was like a divisional game, like ebbs and flows, ups and downs on both sides. And this is what's going. And plus you got the Texans technically 3rd place because the Colts won. We'll talk about that next. So like that top 3 is congested in there. You're definitely congested, and it's not over yet. And now just think about years to come. We got Anthony Richardson. Let's say he pulls out something and becomes something, mini cam or whatever. Him, Trevor, and CJ. AFC South low key be looking like some comp, and then the Texans with Mike Vrabel as long as they're always gonna play hard. So like that division, it was a dumpster fire for a little bit, but now they're slowly on the come up, and I'm excited for it. As a football purist, like we are excited for it. Teams are good. We love good teams. We love comp. I hate us all in the AFC, like, son, but this game,
damn, son.
Like, this game was good though. This game was good. Trevor Lawrence, he made enough plays, and CJ didn't turn over the ball, which was key. I told him I think I put him on the lock in because he kept throwing interceptions and he didn't, and they just missed field goal. So like it's okay. Now JT got injured, but he carried the Colts over this win. And they're the frisky Colts, man. They're the frisky. They be fighting in every game, and they play good defense. I would have thought where their defense would have took a hit without Shaq Leonard, but they're like, "Oh, we good." Plus, Baker is Baker. Baker, big pack. So I just hate how Mike Evans went off with like 2 touchdowns. I'm like, damn. Like the 1 week I'm playing Matt, who has Mike Evans. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, come on, son. I lost because of Mike Evans. And Keenan Allen, but Keenan Allen went off. Mike Evans was not supposed to go off like that. He ain't need to do them boys like that. But that's not the point. The point is the Colts, they're fighting. They know, they probably deep down know, like, we're not winning the Super Bowl. Sorry, but they're a team that no one wants to play because they could get it ugly. They could, and then the not the blessing in disguise, but I'll say it like that phrasing, I guess, for Zach Moss, because before JT came back, he was second in the league in rushing. So now it's the Zach Moss show again until JT comes back again, and then Michael Pittman's been showing out. They got to draft another receiver and some defensive players, and they could be in the thick of things for years to come. But we're the Bucks. They got Baker got hurt. He came back. He fought through it, I guess. Nick Wright was like, he scratched and clawed. He's a warrior. I'm like, bro, what? what? For what? Like, okay, and you lost. So that's pretty much it on my end. But shout out to Colts. Frisky guy, man.
That's it. That's all I got. Colts win. Great. This game sucked. This game was gross. I don't want to talk about it more than I have to. All I want to say, shout out to the Giants. The Paisan himself. Right? That's all. Hey, that's it. That's all it. Mac Jones got benched again. This is as accurate as a story this game is. Mac Jones got benched. Tommy DeVito made some plays. Saquon didn't even have to go off. It wasn't Saquon. It was Jalen Hyatt, who Tennessee, we was talking about, shout out to him. And he's going to make some plays. It took forever.
I got the Tennessee orange on. You see it.
Just Paisan. That's all I got to do. Fight on. Keep winning. No, actually, don't keep winning because, again, Giants fans kind of want Caleb Williams. But they got Packers. They have a bye week. So, they here. They chilling off a bye. Then they play Packers. Then at Saints. Oh, they play the Packers Monday Night Football.
Bro. They're on a 2-game winning streak, right?
I know.
If they could beat the Packers off the bye, that's 3 games. They could be rolling into New Orleans. You versus Matt.
Yeah, day after our birthday.
That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Bird, they can't lose my birthday, right? Right.
Me neither, right? Ravens can't lose either, right? Wait, what's going on?
We'll talk about that. Oh, you got anything to say about that?
Nah, this shit was ass. I'm glad the Giants won. I'm glad, I'm glad the Giants won. I had to parlay. Oh shit, the looking Saints. That was a hitter. I call that a win because that would have hit. I could have just put all the bread on just the Giants winning. Like that would have been this whole that. I just knew because the Jets. That's the Jets. Giants defense. Kayvon Thibodeau to the Pro Bowl, man. I'm on that agenda, man. Kayvon Thibodeau to the Pro Bowl, man. I think he got like 11 sacks in the season. He's cooking. Put him in the Pro Bowl, man. Not that it means anything, but put him in the Pro Bowl, man. Giant great. Kayvon Thibodeau.
Anyway, the next game, again, thank you for Red Zone. Titans continue undefeated streak. They have 4 wins. All 4 of their wins are in Nashville. All 4 of their wins. They beat Chargers, Bengals, that now Panthers, the Lonely Panthers, and one more game that they won, and I was like, they actually won this game? Titans schedule. Sorry. I know we do this on the live. We do this live. We do it live. The Falcons with Will Levis, first game starting. So yeah, that they win at home, they lose everywhere else. So do that, pick that what you will. They play the Colts this week at home. Just gonna throw that out there, sprinkle some, early upset alert, just gonna throw that out there. But Derrick Henry had 2 touchdowns. He did his thing. Will Levis took care of the ball. Panthers fired Frank Wright. One and done coach. Didn't finish the season.
So you know the Panthers gonna win, right?
Oh my god!
You know Panthers winning on.
I just realized why you said that.
Yeah.
New coaches do well the first game. Da, 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 da.
Facts. Panthers are winning.
Panthers blow, bro. The Bucks blow. I think Corbin's gonna pick the Bucks, and I'm like,
nah, tell him not to pick the Bucks, man.
I told him about the Raiders before. He's like, I don't know about the Raiders, and the Raiders ended up like beating the Jets, or beating the Giants, and then the Jets. I don't know, but point is,
trust.
Calling a shot.
I'm calling the shot, man. Do not pick. Tell him not, bro. Word to me, bro. If he picks the Bucks, they go to lose. I'm telling you now. First of all, Baker Pack. Second of all, new coaches don't lose the first games. I'm like, bro, and plus the Bucks is ass. Like at least the defense of the Panthers can hold it down a little bit. Bryce Young could do a little some, I think. I hope so. Word the freaking Kodak. I hope so. But damn, Titans up, man. They want to put in this game. I ain't got no qualms, man. I got no issues. But shout out to the big Doma, man. Kyron motherfucking Williams, man. Doma. 2 tutties. Come on, son. Like, we knew this was gonna happen, man. We was like the room for the upset was because Kyler Murray could like escape. Aaron Donald was on his ass the whole game. He was cooking that man. Hey man, it's all right. Kyler first game back, he's like, I'm back. I'm kind of cooked. So if you got him in fantasy, just stay down and wait. Because I think they already have to buy, right?
They did.
So he's about to play all these games now. And now I'm tight because we've got our bye week, Ravens, and then
they had the same bye week as we did, I believe. Hold on, I'll tell you right now because I think they're good. Yeah, they play. Yeah, they have all their games now. Yeah,
I'm just annoyed because now, goddamn, we played off the bye. We played these motherfuckers. If they can get right offensively, they can beat anybody.
What's crazy. Because you're absolutely right. This game was insane. Kyron went off. Royce Freeman had a couple of big plays as well on the ground. It's like Puka and Cooper Kupp haven't done anything in the last couple of weeks. And the Rams, they have an easy-ass schedule. Yeah, they got Cleveland. Yeah, but they do have 3 hard games. And Browns defense without Myles Garrett, so I get at 3.5. Browns, Ravens, of course, Saints, and Niners. They play those 4 teams.
That's a gauntlet.
If somehow, some way, they might fuck around and make the playoffs, man.
They might.
They're 5-6, just like the Saints are. So, hey, it is what it is. But Kyron bleeping Williams, man, Domer. That's all I gotta say. Actually, it's crazy because like the night before, Audric Estime, Notre Dame's running back, had like 200 something yards rushing. 4 of them things, like just Notre Dame running backs, man. That's all I gotta say on that one.
RBU? Is that what you saying? RBU?
No, I ain't saying RBU, but it's just like sometimes we just built different, bro. We just built different. But somehow Estimo wasn't a finalist for the best running back in the country award. But
they're gonna take Blake Corum. You know they're gonna give some Blake Corum.
No, I don't think so. Cody Schrader, Mizzou.
Oh, okay.
He's been balling. Anyway, Sierra's husband beats the backup Browns because mad people for the Browns got hurt. Amari Cooper got hurt. Myles Garrett got hurt. Dorian Thompson-Robinson got hurt. Browns is injury now. Like they just their defense kept them in the game as long as possible. And then, but if your offense can't do anything, GG's. So yeah, Broncos win. They have like the longest win streak in the league.
6-5. You're 6-5, bro.
They're 6-5. And if the playoffs started today, they are still not in it. But they might fuck around, man. Mr. Unlimited. You gotta be unlimited. But nah, Sean Payton, hell of a coach. Broncos took care of business. They beat a team that they're supposed to beat. Simple as that. Like they won, great. They got
you got Houston coming up.
So Houston coming up, fighting for their playoff lives. The Chargers, who
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, man. I feel like I'm not gonna praise the Broncos. I'm not gonna do that at all. They did it. I wanted them to win because it's the Browns. It's fucking Browns. So congratulations. Now it's fading out the rest of the season. I mean, it's fucking. And it's like, yo, the Browns, you're like, damn, defense, you can't win just strictly off your defense. You could, but if your offense isn't doing anything, like, and that just goes to show you how far we've come. Because like week 3 or so, they got 70 points put on them. And I'm gonna get back to this point later on. Mind you, this point I'm about to make. Just because one team can do something to somebody does not mean another team can. Personnel matters, coaching matters, matchups matter. And plus, the level of urgency on the opponent matters. So just because Miami was able to drop 70 at home week 3 early in the season, not a lot of film on them, just ran them out the gym, doesn't mean that the Browns or let's say Houston, that doesn't mean that. Coaching gets better as the season goes on. Defenses get better. Like, it's okay. So I'm going to keep that point for later on. But just a little sneak peek later. But Browns, you damn. If they lose Garrett for any significant, like a week, okay, I think they play the Rams at LA. So he might miss that one. But then you're like, okay, we need him. They need him. Without him, that defense is good, but it's not great. So if he's out for a significant time, he heard a pop in his shoulder. That's never good. I don't know. I think the injury report comes out tomorrow. So everyone, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you can be glued to your phone or your laptop or your TV screen for however long Miles Garrett might be out. Because shit, he is your star player. He is your franchise. So he's going. They lose. They're not going to the playoffs. They got 7 wins. They could legit go 10-7 and lose the rest of the way, and not make the playoffs. And that's crazy.
That is crazy. Next, Chiefs finally look like the old Chiefs as they handle business against the Raiders. Now, I will say this: the score does not tell the whole story. It was 14-0 Raiders. Aiden O'Connell, Devontae Adams, they started off on fire. And then Josh Jacobs ran the ball well. And then all of a sudden, Kansas City finally sat in their chair and was like, it's time to lock in. They finally scored points in the second half. It took a quarter, but they looked good. They looked like the old Chiefs. Travis Kelce making plays. Isaiah Pacheco running the ball like an angry man possessed. And shout out to Rashee Rice, first 100-yard receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs all season. Like, that's the kind of stuff that Patrick Mahomes wanted to see. Then the defense, they clamped up. Chris Jones was a man possessed as well, had about a sack and a half, maybe 2 sacks. They did their business. They took care of business, and they covered as well. So Nick Wright was never a doubt shit, all that good stuff. Right? The Chiefs, they got the Packers Sunday Night Football. Calling the upset. You're calling the upset because you just want chaos, and also you need the Chiefs to lose. But Jordan Love, we're gonna talk about the game tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but just gonna say I don't know. Kansas City defense might not be as formidable as they think. Just gonna throw that out there. But Chiefs, they took care of business. Patrick Mahomes looked good, looked comfortable. And that's something that he hasn't been able to do in a while. Just look good. Just the offense was a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna put too much salt in the game. Like I wanted them to lose. I thought the Raiders were gonna win because the Raiders actually like were committed on the defensive side. But Max Crosby is clearly injured. He's not looking the same. And they just released Marcus Peters yesterday.
Bum ass Marcus Peters.
There you go. It was just like whoever picks him up is like, okay, now they got pieces. Now, but everyone knew like the Raiders weren't gonna do much, but they definitely can make things harder for some teams. They can make it. They can upset a couple teams and get their chicken stocks down. Stocks. Get their playoff standings down. It happens. It can happen. Then they got to play Kansas City again, and who knows? Like, Travis Kelce had a 100-yard game for the first time in like a month. That's I think before Germany. That's crazy. Rasheed Rice, his first 100 career. Congratulations. This dude Nick Wright had to bro. He said he's been playing. He's better than Zay Flowers. That's like I love Nick Wright. He's an entertaining guy. Like I love his analysis sometimes. But when they talk about the Chiefs, it's like I can't take him seriously. I can't.
He's terrible with that shit, bro.
Like the bias aside, I get it. You're from Kansas City. That's your team. My brother. At what point does the lines blur a little bit? Where you don't give them the criticism that they need and you over exaggerate on the wins. Now the great thing was that you guys scored points in the second half. That was the great thing. But other than that, you're like, okay, cool. Like, okay, that's fine. But like don't say takes like, oh, he said today, he said by the end of the season, Rasheed Rice will have more yards than and I think yards and touchdowns than Zay Flowers. Touchdowns probably. Yards no, because we'll talk about Zay Flowers he's been cooking. He's about to start eating up more as the number one. He's about to be like I'm the number one guy for Lamar with Mark Andrews being out. But we'll talk about that in 2 games. Raiders, you're mad that you lost at home, but you're like okay, you're okay. Because Aiden O'Connell is showing something. Him and Devontae, I'm not saying Andrew O'Connell about to be the fair. They should draft the quarterback for sure. But Aiden O'Connell, he's auditioned for a future job somewhere, and then they're keeping Devontae Adams happy because why? We've been saying get him involved early, get him involved often. Sure, he doesn't like to lose, but he doesn't want to. He wants to be a part of it. He wants to feel a part of it. We're not there on the bye week. Bye week, all right, cool, chill. Let me do a little dance, you know. Gucci. That's it.
That's it. All right. Now, the game of the day, which, again, I got to give Josh Allen credit because I thought he was going to be ass. Because he's like, oh, he had a great game against the Jets. I thought he was going to have a bad game against the Philadelphia Eagles. He threw for 51 times, for almost 400 yards, and they still lost. Why? Eagles find a fucking way, man. That's the type of shit. I'm like, I love good teams that just find ways to win. They don't find ways to lose. That's the key. You know, they see victory and like we can get this. They're down 10, doesn't matter. They're down 14, doesn't matter. Their offense doesn't get anything going in the first half. Returns of Philly, doesn't matter. They'll keep making plays. Now, I want to mention something because this is kind of sad. Josh Allen has not won an overtime game in his entire career. That's something because they talk, 13 seconds. He never got the ball to start the second half. He never got the ball in overtime. And what happened? They got the ball first. They drive down the field, forced to kick a field goal. Because Philadelphia Eagles have a bend but not break defense. Shout out to Darius Slay. Shout out to Fletcher Cox. Shout out to Jordan Carter. Shout out to almost all the guys in that Jordan. Hassan Reddick had a good game as well. Overall, not some good plays, but the Bills had a chance to win the game in overtime and they lost. That's all I can say. You can't. Oh damn, whatever. Oh, that's all shucks. But you're fighting for your playoff lives, and you get the ball first. This is what you wanted. This is what Josh Allen wanted. He wanted the ball first. What happened week 1? Overtime. Got the ball first, punted, punt return touchdown, game was over. This game had the ball first. Pardon me. Got the hiccups now. But got the ball first. Kick a field goal. And your defense doesn't do anything. Lets them go down the field. Like literally, once they kick the field goal, I bet Eagles money line because I was like, yeah, Eagles are gonna win. Because I was literally that confident because 1, Philly has not lost at home. 2, Jalen Hurts he doesn't have the gaudy stats like a Sam Howell, like a CJ Stroud, like a Lamar. He just is clutch every single game. They're down 10 to Kansas City. He's having a shitty game, probably the worst game of his career. And then what happens? 3rd, 4th quarter, he turns up. Last week, bad game. What happens? Turns up and locks in. So, as much as I hate Philly, as much as I'm like, Philly sucks in terms of the city, the Eagles, man, have a great team. They're well coached. They're well disciplined. And you listen to Jalen Hurts talk, it's like, I believe in him. Like, no matter how high or low, he's always just here. He doesn't let the moment get too big. And this guy, hey, shout out to him, man. And also, AJ Brown had a solid game. Not like he didn't have the breaking game I thought he was gonna have, but he didn't need to.
When it mattered the most, though, who just and that freaking the 58 yarder. Who was he going to? AJ Brown. So like he didn't have like prior to that he was doing nothing. He was getting excited. I ain't gonna lie, but at the end he caught a touchdown and he caught like that last drive he caught like 4 or 5 passes to set them up. So like give him credit. Eagles can't keep starting slow. It's gonna eventually like the ball this season has been like rolling in the Eagles' favor. Eventually that luck's gonna run out. Eventually. Because you play the 49ers and you play Dallas back to back. That's tough. That is tough. You should they needed to win. I looked on NFL.com, but apparently it's not true. I thought they were the first team to clinch a playoff spot.
No. No team clinch a playoff spot.
Bleacher Report has said, Eagles first team to clinch a playoff spot. But I'm like, no, because you still got teams that have like 6 wins or whatever. Like that's still there.
No team has clinched a playoff spot yet. They can clinch one next week, I believe.
If they win, yeah, I'm pretty sure. 11 wins, like, definitely will get you in the playoffs. Like, ain't no way. But if you're Philly, like, eventually, like, that luck's going to run out. But for right now, you're like, all right, like, it's fine. It's fine. Like, it's fine. If you're Buffalo, you're like, damn. You're like, damn. You dropped 34. But shout out to Buffalo because back-to-back weeks, good offensive showings. And they're peaking. Like they're defensively, they're ass. Like they cannot finish. They gotta finish. People get mad at Baltimore for not finishing games. We'll get to them. But Buffalo, they cannot finish. They cannot put those teams away. And then it comes back to bite you when I say, yo, how did you lose to the Jets? How did you lose to the Patriots? How do you lose to the Broncos? Because you can't finish games. Cannot finish games. Josh Allen has thrown an interception in like 8 straight games. That's got to stop.
I genuinely think it's been every game this season.
Like I might have been. If you got him in fantasy, someone could definitely check it. Bro, that's nasty. That's negative. Like Nick Wright saying you have a 0% chance to make playoffs. I don't believe that. I definitely don't. Because you got the Jets again. You got you already beat the Jets. You got the Patriots again. You got Miami again. You got Kansas City, which is tough. But like, bro, it's not over. Not by a long shot.
A bye week this week.
And you play Philly. No, not Philly.
They go to Kansas City, host Dallas, Chargers, fighting for their playoff lives, Patriots, the gimme, and then at Miami to close out the year.
It's a hard schedule, but you're not out the woods yet. You get a couple of those like consistent Josh Allen games. You had your last 2 weeks without turnovers. Stop turning the ball over. Give the ball to Diggs. And that's it, man. That's it. But I do love how they're running the ball. They're not running for a lot, but they are attempting to run. Which was before with whoever the guy name was. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. No disrespect. But whatever your name was, you weren't running the ball with James Cook on first down, second down. Like that. Ken Dorsey. There we go. Running the rock sets up the play action pass. With the RPOs, it sets up everything. And when you got a dual threat like Josh Allen, it helps. It definitely helps. So I'm glad they're running the ball. Because a lot of teams can't stop the run. But then you got to overcommit to stop the run, bam. Then you got one-on-one with Diggs. Getting Kincaid is showing out. Gabe Davis is still trash. But come on. Like it makes it easier. But Philly just held it down. Found a way to win. That's pretty much it. But say what you gotta say about my Ravens before I go off.
So I'm gonna keep it a stack, bro. I ain't watched this game. I watched the first quarter and a half or some change, and the Ravens were running the ball, making plays. Flowers got into the end zone and threw the bouquet, and I was like, that's hilarious because last name was Flowers. Lamar didn't find that funny, but I found it hilarious because, again, I like puns and shit like that. All in all, I was like, okay. And I left. I usually watch every minute, every game of what, but I was like, the Chargers are black right now. Justin Herbert, that's my guy. That's my dog. That's one of my favorite players in the league. But, man, Brandon Staley has got to go. And it's crazy in there, Emmanuel Acho, Dick Rowe, Justin Herbert, so much. Like, okay, yes, he had intentional grounding to end the game. Bro, he literally dropped back as soon as he took his third step. Blitzer, Kyle Hamilton, right? I believe, closed the game out, or he didn't close the game out, but one of the defensive backs sacked him or attempted to sack him, and he got rid of the ball. He can't do everything himself. And he's like, oh, you had a chance to win against the Packers. Had a chance against the Lions. Had against the Cowboys. Lions game, didn't get the ball back. Cowboys game, I give you that. He fumbled the bag. Last week, throw the ball right in Quentin Johnston's hands. Dropped it. This week, didn't even get a chance to make a play. And it doesn't help when Keenan Allen is fumbling the ball and Austin Eckler is fumbling the ball. At some point, I was looking at the score because I was just planning for my week ahead. And I was like, there's no way the Ravens are going to lose, right? Right? And then all of a sudden, they start coming back. And it's 13-10. And I'm like, Ravens aren't going to lose, right? And y'all, Zay Flowers took it to the crib, ended up winning, and yeah, cool. But Ravens miss Mark Andrews. I'm going to say that. Ravens miss Mark Andrews. Zay Flowers is stepping up. Keaton Mitchell, dog.
Yep.
And you're 9-3 on the bye.
9-3 on the bye.
The stat that I want to highlight real quick is that Lamar Jackson hasn't really played in November, December in like 2 years.
Facts.
Started off 7-2, 7-3, and got hurt. Started off 8-3 last year, got hurt. So it's like
he finished in November.
He finished in November for like the first time in a few years. So cool. Can he stay healthy? Ravens with him healthy, y'all have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
They'll win us so much money if y'all do.
I'm gonna talk so much shit when we do too, my brother. Word.
But yes, Ravens win. Talk your shit.
Giannis got 10 rebounds. Yes, sir. All right. So, where do I go? First, I'm glad we won. I definitely was sweating a little bit when Justin Tucker missed that kick. He slipped. The most accurate kicker of all time. I'm like, ain't no way he just missed it. Like, I looked at the replay. He slipped. Okay, happens. But we had 200 yards on the ground. I love that. Because at 3 kneel downs, that's a minus a yard. So we had 200, right? We had 20 first downs, 33 minutes time of possession, no turnovers. Defense carried. 4 turnovers, a pick, which was really it was a Hail Mary like at the first half. I'm not really going to like put too much grain in that. For the stats, it helps, but the three forced fumbles though, strip sack on Herbert for Jadeveon Clowney, Austin Eckler fumbled, and I think Keenan Allen fumbled too. Like all 3 of their main guys fumbled, right? Austin Eckler is slow. We knew this. We laughed about it last week, and we said it. He's running slow. He's not as dynamic as he once was, and it's okay. That's perfectly fine. But now here's a double standard where I gotta really talk my shit. And as you're listening, I need you to listen. When Jalen Hurts doesn't play well but makes clutch plays, they say, "Oh, he's so mature. Oh, he's so awesome." When Patrick Mahomes doesn't score in the second half, but they still win a game, they're like, "Oh, Mahomes is awesome. Mahomes is awesome." But when Lamar just makes winning plays, not too flashy, he ran the ball well, he threw the ball well, he pretty sure he got some throws he wants to get back. You're like, all right, cool. 11 times for 39 yards, and then 100. He's the fastest guy to get to 5,000 as a running back, 80-something games. Awesome. That's awesome. You feel me? It's stuff like that gets me so mad because the double standard on Lamar is crazy. Now, 2 main points that I want to stress home. Nick Wright. I get that you're not a believer in my team. We haven't shown you much in the postseason. Just like Dallas, we're great in the regular season. In the playoffs, we sold the bag. I completely with you on that. I hold my team accountable. We fucking suck in the playoffs. We gotta get right on that. But for the last, let me get the correct stat. Hold on. We scored, let's see, 30 against Detroit, 38 against Detroit, 31 against Cardinals, 37 versus Seattle, 31 against Cleveland, 34 against the Bengals. And then we scored 20. The one time in a month and a half we don't score 30 points, all of a sudden our offense is a concern. Because we don't rely on just quarterback play to win. Because we could run the ball for 150, 200 yards a game and lead the league in rushing. And play great defense and make it a slow, ugly game. But he's saying his best game was against the Lions. We dropped 37 against Detroit. Against Seattle. And we dropped 31 against the league's best defense in Cleveland. So for Nick Wright, and this is not for y'all, but for Nick Wright to be the only guy to be like, oh, it's nip and tuck. Oh, I don't trust him because of the offense. The offense been dropping 30 burgers for the last month and a half for the one time we know it's a problem. And he's saying, oh, because it's the Chargers. And this is where the point I made earlier about the Broncos comes back to play now. Just because a team like the Chargers, or against a team like Detroit, they drop 38, drop 41, whatever on the Chargers doesn't mean the Ravens can do it. We could. We had opportunities we should have. Drive we went for it on 4th down and messed up and fucked up the bag. run plays where it got busted up. Khalil Mack was Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack was awesome. They were playing highly motivated defense for Brandon Staley, who should be fired. I get that. I was joking, saying, "Oh, wait till after we play us," and I was right. But for you to say, "Oh, we go because you don't stop 30 points on the Chargers," like just because we don't do that, oh, our offense is a concern. That's mind-boggling to me. And plus, I love Lamar said it, and I'm gonna say it again. I love when we're being slept on. Our bye came at the perfect time because we could have had it after the London game. Hey, I was like fucking blinking. We could have had it because we had the first pick. Like, whoever had the London game, you had to pick. He was like, no, was wait. And now we're first seed. We have an opportunity to just rest up. One, Lamar, Odell, defensive guys, Marlon Humphrey, Ronnie Stanley, knee. Like a lot of guys are banged up a little bit. So this came at the perfect time, one. And two, it's like, yo, we get to sit and watch other teams try to be where we're at. Other teams try to win and be out the at the 1 seed. If Jacksonville loses, we're a game ahead. If Chiefs lose, we're a game ahead. If Miami loses, we're a game ahead. If Cleveland loses, which I think they will, they're off our asses. So let's go. We get to go home for the Rams in week 14. Yes, we miss Mark Andrews. Who wouldn't miss a top 3 tight end in the game? Who would not? If Kelsey was out for Mahomes, he'd be panicking. But he's not. Knock on wood, praying for the brother. Just because Mark Andrews out, that means Isaiah Likely has to step up. Bateman has to step up. Odell and Zay Flowers. They have to step up and they have to start making plays. And that's okay. That's okay. Our defense is going to hold it down. Yeah, they'll have some slip-ups like they did against Cleveland. That's okay. It happens. No team is going to go 17-0. But we're 9-3. And people was talking like we're scrubs. And that's why I find disrespectful. So let's go, Ravens. We came to their crib, like I said, on Wednesday. We're going to go to your crib and, put our feet up, eat some Frosted Flakes. Mine are a little stale, but yours are a little fresh. We Gucci. So let's go, Ravens. We 9-3 on the bye week. We lit, man. Where my jersey at? Where my jersey at, man?
Well said, Shabazz. Well said.
You see it.
Well said. And as we wrap up, we talk about the Monday night snooze fest that was this game.
Oh, you can only talk. I here in sack. I was not feeling good. I popped the NyQuil and I was out at 8:30. I did not watch this game ever. I was not. I was GG.
All I can say, hey, shout out to the Bears, man. Firstly, my buddy Corbett is in the survivor pool. He's still in it. He's still alive. And like half of the remaining entries at the time had the Vikings to win. And the Vikings lost. So I can't talk about business. I ain't gonna spend his money out like that. But he's in a chance to win some serious dough. Josh Dobbs sucked 4 picks. The Bears defense played out of their freaking minds. Justin Fields had 2 fumbles, bad fumbles. But man, that last drive, he made a lot of people in Chicago some believers, man. A lot of people were like, "Hey, he might be able to. We might. Are going to draft Caleb Williams now? What are we going to do with the first pick? Like, that's the kind huh?
Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore, and Marvin Harrison.
No. You're not drafting a wide receiver number 1. You're not drafting a wide receiver number 1.
So you're trading it away?
Oh yeah. So here's what I would do. here's what I would do. Firstly, Luke Getzey, offensive coordinator, gots to go. Like literally almost a third. That's too generous. About a half of their plays were wide receiver screens.
Oh,
I swear to God. I swear to God. Like,
and you watch Bears games because you're in Bears.
Go on Twitter or like wide receiver screen Bears or something like that. Literally, they might be a compilation. I swear to God, it was almost every play was a wide receiver screen. Everything was towards the line of scrimmage. And I'm like, the Vikings blitz more than everybody. Why are you doing wide receiver screens? So that's fun. So Lugetti, he has to be fired. Matt Eberflus, aka Matt Eberflus, he has to be gone. Now, I like Justin Fields. I actually do. So if you think that you keep if you're gonna keep Justin Fields, you trade back the number 1 pick to a QB needed team, i.e. Patriots, i.e. Giants, i.e. whatever, maybe Raiders, right? So if you trade back that pick, one, you're gonna get at least 2 first-round picks, at least. Get 2 first-round picks and this year's first-round pick, and get a defensive starter. Maybe a Max Crosby. Who knows?
All from Notre Dame. Word.
Point is, if you think Caleb Williams is going to save you, just trade Justin Fields draft day. Take Caleb number 1. You also have your pick. Then, if you can't get Marvin Harrison, get the next best thing, Rome Odunze from Washington. So, he's a dog, by the way. You don't know much about him, but he's a dog.
What about neighbors from LSU?
Neighbors from LSU. You know, there's so many, but you don't take Marvin Harrison number 1 when there's so many. Again, it's Caleb Williams. He's the number 1 pick. He's the number 1. It's either you're drafting him or you're trading that pick away to like pick number 3 so you can draft Marvin Harrison number 3. But you're not drafting Marvin Harrison number 1. You're not. And if they do, Ryan Poles got to get fired. He's going to probably get burned at the stake. Chicago fans are not going to accept that. They're not. But Justin Fields, they finally beat a divisional opponent. It was 2 years. No, not 2. There's like 12-game losing streak in the division the Bears had. So with that said, we in there. Oh,
Fun fact.
What's the fun fact?
This dude, I looked at the Josh Allen stat. I found it. He has thrown an interception every game since week 5.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Wait. Was that the week after the Commanders game?
Hold on. Stand by.
I believe that's so. I think they can throw a pick Commanders game. Or Raiders.
It was after he threw a pick on the Raiders game. It was after Miami. So he played Miami. He threw 4 touchdowns, no picks. And then every single game, Jacksonville, Giants, Patriots, Tampa, Cincinnati, Denver, Jets, and Philly. He's throwing an interception.
Damn.
But he's the number 1 rated quarterback because he gets all the yards and the touchdowns. So you gotta take the bad with the good, I guess. But ladies and gentlemen, that does it for week 12. What happened? Join us tomorrow, 8:30. Be there or be there. Natty Bat and myself. We'll talk about week 13. I'm chilling. My heart's okay. My Ravens don't play. That's okay. Yes, sir. That was a bar. Low key. My heart's okay because the Ravens don't play. Woo! Sizzle. But until then, I'm Shabazz.
Natty Baps.
We're the BaptisteBros. See you guys tomorrow, 8:30. Be there or be there. Live your life in search of.
Then